Welcome to the Human Design Rave Festival 2025.
So this plays, wow, that put me into an emotion, actually, that little clip. Nisarg too, apparently. Yeah, I actually wanted to say something about the surprise of this place, in the sense that I don't think this kind of place can exist with a plan. You know, I'm a projector across a planning, but there was never a plan to create this. There was maybe a little bit of a inkling of a direction somewhere, but the plan was never there. There was no objective, no thing of like, okay, community living together, this is just going to happen, you know, whatever. So the intention was not that. That's the first thing that I find is very important in terms of, I think we're going to in awareness, we're going into right awareness, and this kind of strategic community building, I don't think it works anymore. I mean, I've seen enough of failed ones to kind of take that conclusion now. I mean, if someone shows me a working one that is started like that, and where people actually are well, but anyways, that's my take on it for now. So the right way, in some ways, I mean, the right consciousness awareness way in terms of how something gets built, and I've seen it through this project, is that it gets built because the cells, or the energy that builds it shows up to build it in that particular way. So, I mean, to give a concrete example, for example, we ran this place several years without any kind of gardens. I, of course, had the idea of like permaculture, food, autonomy, like all this kind of stuff was running through my head. But I was also very clear on the fact that I was not going to be digging holes in the garden, you know, several hours a day. So it was like, you can start that permaculture idea in a community or with a group of people out of an idea and say, okay, let's now say that everyone has 2 hours a day to dig in the garden, and this is the duty, you know, and this is what, you know, you have to do to make this place run, and and then we all suffer there 2 hours a day each on our turn. And this is, I think, also very often how strategic community gets built. It gets built from outside in. It doesn't get built from inside out. So it gets built from an idea that then needs to be implemented in some ways, and you need to go and flare around and find energy to do whatever needs to be done. And here it's like, okay, the garden got built when that person showed up, who just naturally, organically was just breathing. She's like a plant, this woman. You know, it's like there is no, you don't have to ask her like, do you want to go to the garden? It's just like she's a vegetable, you know, like in her way of being. It's just, and it's actually her in the video that is just like there, and she's just there from morning to night and it's just naturally what she does when she gets up in the morning, and she always comes with this and that amazing thing from the garden with a smile like this big. And okay, you know, she's an emotional manifesting generator with 2 manifesting emotional channels. Like, it's not like it's like flat joy every day, but it's so woo, 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 like this. And so now we have amazing gardens, you know, and every part of the project in some ways, I mean, that's the most, let's say, visual example, but everything that has happened here has happened through those rules, you know. Is the energy there? Is the passion there? Is the creative life force there? And is it sitting in someone? And is that person available? So we do a lot of explorative workshops. People have all participated in this stuff. Everyone here has kind of, you know, explored with design. But design is something that is kind of, there is this rule that this is not something we speak about. You know, it's like, I I realized when some outside people, of course, during workshops and when we really look at the mechanics and when we are exploring them, then it's like, okay, yeah, okay, let's reflect back on what happened, and we use numbers and gates and lines and types and whatever. But in the day-to-day, I mean, there is no, oh, your nasty little emotional wave just came to screw me over, and your 3740 is a real, bitch of a channel, or look at me now going here, and I have the 1222. That's why I'm so this and that and that and that. That frequency, and especially if people, because we are constantly receiving people from the outside in. I mean, if we were into that, I mean, no one would be here anymore. I mean, I think that, we would have no more clients. They would just all be like, these people are complete crackheads, and they speak in numbers and we don't understand anything. But not only that, but it's like, for me, it's become like, I want to respect the knowledge, not to use it in this kind of, how would I say, very, I mean, of course, I'll make jokes sometimes, HD jokes, they're fun and whatever. But when it's like banalized, I don't know if it's an English word, I'm mixing French and English, but when it's just kind of used in this kind of very everyday-ish way, and also if very quickly it becomes then defensive. I mean, the knowledge, instead of being as something, an awareness tool and something to see things through, becomes a defense tool about, this is me, I'm carrying this and I'm carrying that, and so there is this kind of defense happening, and I become very sensitive to it. So here it's like, that's one of those unwritten rules. Okay, no one would ever know, except if they look above the fireplace, they'll see a design there, but no one would never know, coming from the outside in, that there is something like this going on here. This system can make someone wake up and they can make them sleep. I mean, it's like, it's the dualities, of course, and it's normal that it's there. It's nothing, I'm not judging the system for it, but I've ended up pulling, a fair amount of people, out of the dungeons of being kind of in some kind of belief bubble over these things. I can't move before someone invites me, or I can't eat before, I have a formal something, or I can't, all kinds of craziness. It's just like, whoa, guys. So we have like the workshops that we are doing, and that's why I love the work Richard is doing, but I love the work Nisarg is doing. It's like, and we spoke about it in the session in the morning also, with okay, experience, test, verify, live, tell us what you see through it. Don't, I get so tired of people trying to break it down or criticize this and that. Okay, of course, you have to be skeptical in some ways. I mean, in terms of, but be skeptical after the experience, not before the experience. It's like, you cannot test something just conceptually. It's impossible. And equally, for those who kind of lose their marbles and think that they are in some kind of human design experiment and have become some kind of, just half dead, it's like, or very dogmatic, or very defensive, or Richard, you're having some fun there. But it's just like, okay, it's all there and it's not to be, but I think that it's all our job, people that really go for it and live it and see things through it, to kind of push or pull these people out of this kind of bubbles. And this I've seen happen here during human design workshops, because we have people coming here and they are in that HD bubble, and then it's like they come here and they feel the frequency, and when it's actually lived, I've seen it happen, it just like goes poof. It's kind of like there is an impact of like, wait a minute, you know, this doesn't match what I believe and what's happening, but what's happening is coherent. So what there is this, and in HD it happened, I mean, during the COVID it happened also. I mean, people came here like masked in like some kind of astro suits and kind of, and then, we're here and we're just kind of all going about our lives and, nothing is different. And then they were like, can I come out of this suit? Like, what's going on here? Like, why are these, like, and so it just goes poof. And then it's so funny because then it just stops being there. It's like, it's very fast, it's like the suit comes off and it's like, whoa, okay. Now, so there is this, that's, I think, what Ra was speaking about in terms of like the community and what groups can do together is an energy field that is, I mean, not an energy field like a WoW or a Penta, or where we are executing something together and everyone becomes nasty fucks, like not that energy field, but the one where they're just people exist together in a certain way and there's a coherent cooperation between people and know like, okay, we are together in this. It's just like everyone has their own pie and all of that. But it's still in physically close enough so that there is some kind of field being created